The man who paid my rent, but not for the reason I thought. I was having the worst month of my life. Rent was due in 5 days, my car needed repairs, and my job had just cut my hours. I wasn't broke, I was negative broke. I was sitting outside my apartment scrolling through job listings when an older man from my building walked by. We'd never spoken before. He always looked serious, quiet, almost intimidating. He stopped, looked at me, and said, "You look like someone carrying a heavy backpack." I laughed awkwardly and said, "Yeah, something like that." He nodded and walked away. Weird, but whatever. The next morning, my landlord called. I panicked, thinking he was going to remind me about rent. Instead, he said, "Your rent for this month has been paid, full amount." I froze. I asked who paid it. He said the person wanted to stay anonymous. I immediately thought it was my mom, my friend, someone who knew I was struggling, but everyone I asked said no. For the next week, I kept seeing that same older man in the hallway. He'd just nod politely and keep walking. I started wondering, was it him? But why would a stranger pay my rent? 2 weeks later, I finally got the answer. I was coming home late, and I saw him sitting alone in the lobby. He looked tired, like he'd been thinking about something for a long time. As I walked past, he said, "Did things get better?" I stopped. I said, "Yeah, actually, someone paid my rent. I'm still trying to figure out who." He looked at me for a long moment and said, "Good, then it worked." I asked him what he meant. He sighed and said, "When I was your age, I was drowning. Lost my job, lost my apartment. Nobody helped me, not one person. I promised myself that if I ever saw someone carrying the same weight, I'd do something." I didn't know what to say. He continued, "But don't thank me. I didn't do it for you." That confused me. He said, "I did it for the version of me who never got help." Then he stood up, looked me straight in the eyes, and said something I'll never forget. "When life gives you a little extra, don't build higher walls, build longer tables." And he walked away. Here's the twist. A month later, I got a better job. I caught up on my bills. I finally felt like I could breathe again. And last week, I saw a young guy in my building sitting outside, head in his hands, looking exactly how I looked that day. So I sat next to him and said, "You look like someone carrying a heavy backpack." His eyes widened. He nodded. And in that moment, I understood exactly what the old man meant. Moral: sometimes the kindness you receive isn't meant to end with you. It's meant to pass through you.